had a cap of the annual salary of the office, of the municipal office, as the spending limit. For the mayor today, it'd be right about $100,000. I thought it was incredibly sane. It kept the big money out, and it made you engage in retail politics, door to door, talking to people. We have over 100 house parties scheduled in the last 25 days of this election. It's retail politics. It's grassroots politics. When the Supreme Court said it was unconstitutional, we appealed that all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court. We lost. So the only way that I understand under current federal law to keep the big money out is through publicly funded elections. I don't like the idea that we use taxpayer money for elections, but it's the only way to keep the big money out. I think it's too soon to tell. We've had one city council race, and this will be the first mayoral race. I'm sure there'll be some fine-tuning to be done when the dust is settled, but I really enjoy not having to raise money.
I'm a big supporter of public financed elections. As a matter of fact, I sit on a national board called Public Campaign that's pushing it at the federal level. I pushed for this law at the city level. The mayor actually opposed this law. Keep in mind that the mayor raised $1.2 million approximately the last time he ran. That's big money. I would rather be beholden to all of you for $5 than to some special interest for larger amounts. There's a few things that we could do in changing the law. One, I think the qualifying period ought to go from 6 weeks to maybe 8 weeks. It's easy when you've got city employees out there beating the drums to try to get those $5 qualifying contributions. I had to use seed money to get those qualifying contributions, which means I had less money. Unfortunately, when you're an incumbent, you can do many more things with your city employees, and that's exactly what's happened. So I support the concept. I think we can improve it, and I'll continue to support it.
R.J. Berry?
Well, it really has been an interesting process. I think when you look at the situation with the $5 contributions, I think there's some things that we could do to allow those to be given online, some things like that. There's some things we could do to tweak the system. But I think the most interesting thing is, of the three candidates you have up here today, I'm the only candidate that hasn't run for Congress, that hasn't run for the governorship, that hasn't really spent multiple millions of dollars in our state and in our community on name ID. So I think term limits really comes into play in this. Imagine if they did away with the term limits for the governorship and somebody had run against Bill Richardson with 20% of the money that Bill Richardson spent in his last campaign and with no term limits. I think we'd have Bill Richardson in there a long time, and I think there's a concern for term limits being overturned that concerns people. But I think it's a good system. I think we're working through it. I think we're all three part of a grand experiment. It's our first chance to do this in Albuquerque. And I think there's some areas that we can do better in, and I think we'll take a look at that after this race, and I think there'll be some positive changes.
30 seconds for rebuttal, Richard.
My campaign has been a door-to-door campaign, a business-to-business campaign. That's the way I've always campaigned for public office. And I really, really do like the fact that we've chosen to exclude the big money from our elections.
You know, there's a new twist at City Hall. There's a new rule that says if you do business with the city, you cannot make a contribution to the candidate, city council or mayor. That's the reason, the real reason, the mayor's not running privately. It's much more difficult to get those contributions with people that do business with the city when now you really can't.
I think the idea of big money is interesting because I think when people are in favor of public financing, that is really what they're looking for. And that's what makes this race interesting. We're all three on a $300,000 budget for this race, yet my opponents have raised multiple millions of dollars for previous campaigns. And so I'm the only candidate in this race that you're really getting the benefit of public financing. I'm the fresh face here. I'm the person that is coming new to politics out of a business background. And if what people are looking for out of this is not big dollars over time, I'm your candidate.